welcome to another installment of Gaming Mayhem. Today is part 3 of the Chaos Dwarf repaint. To recap, Frontline Gaming is touching up all of my Chaos Dwarf army, and this is about approximately 9,000 plus point army for free, and we're reviewing the models as they're touched up. So on another note, if you check the description, there's a link to Frontline Gaming's tournament coming up in February in Las Vegas. So if you're on the West Coast at all or anywhere near the Las Vegas area, give that a look and see if you can head up there and tell them in person that you appreciate what they're doing with this army, as well as have some fun knocking out a cool tournament. It is a fantasy tournament, and they have 40K as well. I think they have some other games going on there as well, but again, I'm not really well versed in those. But I definitely think it'd be cool to hit up that tournament. I can't go just due to some other commitments, and I'm going on vacation right now, so I won't be able to hit it up myself. But it'd be great if you guys that like this stuff, or you just want to check out a cool tournament, could hit that up and let them know that you appreciate all the work they've been doing. So I'm going to go over these models. We got a few today. I did get some before and after pictures. Part of the problem is, of course, getting the exact same angles, etc., etc. So it's as good as I can get with the before and after, but I'll show those after I do the video of what we got here. So let's start off with the big boy. Got here. This is my Kadai Destroyer. This is based on the Forge World Fire Elemental model. This is the right base size for Kadai Destroyer, and what I like about this guy is, as opposed to some of the other ones I've seen, using like a Balrog or something, he's the right size. If you look at the unproduced Destroyer model, he's about this size. He's a little shorter but wider. I've seen some other good ones, some nice conversions on Destroyers, but I really like how this guy just looks menacing and evil. I'll show a couple pictures here. One thing I want to point out, if you look at his staff, look how nice that how well the staff pops. This was one of the better done models. It just lacked a lot of details originally, and what they've done here is really brought out the details. So look at the staff there. You'll see this is the original picture of the staff. And you can see kind of how like it's missing paint on parts. You can see like where the resin's exposed in a couple spots. And now look at the finished picture. You'll notice that it's much more brazen. You notice on the blades, you see the excess of blood kind of there from where he's killed people, and on his weapon as well. There was a conscious decision between myself and the painter not to have blood on his body, because he has the blazing body rule, therefore he's on fire and the blood would have burned off or evaporated. Okay, so this is the Kadai Destroyer. Really cool model. And some of you have been asking about an army list. When I get back from vacation, I'm going to be doing a army list review of how I compose my Chaos Dwarf army and the variants that I use on it. So we'll look forward to that. So this guy, love this guy. This fantastic model. I think he's out of print now. I don't know. I mean, again, I can see why people didn't buy the Fire Elemental model. Really cool, but not really effective in most games. So let's look at a couple we got slaves here. I got them mounted. So what I do with my slaves, they are the front rank of my Hobgoblin units. And the concept there was, Hobgoblins, not the toughest guys. So what do? They stick a bunch of humans in the front ranks. And you can see, hopefully you can see, these models, again, the slave models, were fairly well, they were actually decent quality, just again missing some details. What's gone on in here is all the details have been picked out, and then of course, as per my request, the blood has been added. So these are guys sitting in the front line, and you have your naked chicks here, which cause the enemy to look at the naked chicks, while the hobgoblins behind these guys are stabbing them. So they're covered in, soaked in gore and blood, because that's where all the blood's coming from. This guy, this is an Empire dude. If you haven't seen it, I've always loved that model. I think he's fantastic. He just looks so helpless. I guess he, headbutts people or whatever. And these guys are just basically screwed. They bite people or something. This guy here, he's begging not to be killed. These guys are, the stripper girls. I think these are the Bronze Age ones. I know I've sent the link to a few people. And they're really cool figs. I did a little bit of mod work adding the chains and stuff on these guys. So another row of them. Very cool looking figures. I think it adds some character when you're having a, when you got these mass horde units, it just adds a little bit of character. And I didn't really want to just have a ton of hobgoblins. I thought it's kind of funny. It brings out the character of Chaos Dwarfs. They're slavers, right? So this kind of makes it fun. Got a couple more little slave girls here. There's a couple more on the way. Also, what I use these for is an extra token, a wound token. If you make a war machine, if you give it if you make it demonic, it gets an extra wound. Here's my extra wound. So yeah, add those on, and it fits in with the theme of the army. So I thought that would be kind of a neat thing to do. Okay, let's look at the, we got Sorcerer Prophets here and my Castellan BSB. So here you go. Here is the Castellan BSB. Now, let's see if you can see here. I'll show some pictures as well of all these guys at the end. Very cool looking guy. And then we got the 3 variations on Sorcerer Prophets figures. Look at that guy. Cool little dude. This is the infamous hat mark guy. Obviously his hat mark has been now painted correctly and fixed. And blood added to all of them. Angry Chaos Dwarfs here. One of the things about painting dwarfs of any kind, they're very small models. So all these little details picked out makes a huge difference. See, the beard jewelry, you can really, now you can distinctly tell where his face is and see the fierceness of the models, because these are really cool models. Here's my favorite. I love this guy. You see there, holding that bloody head. And again, the details, painting the head different color than the hand and adding the gore effect just make this model all the more gruesome. You can see the blood glistening off his weapon there. That's one bad dude. And this is another one I really love, how the effect came out on the hammer. You can see the light, when the light shines off the metal of the hammer, it gives a nice reflection and the blood looks like it's just glistening off. So, here's a couple pictures of them. You can really tell from the old to the new. Like here's the older picture of these guys. And then if you look at the newer one, look how the armor pops. The detailing on their faces, on their beards, on the armor nicks, and of course the blood spray, the blood texture. It adds so much life to the model, and that makes a big difference when you're dealing with these small models. That little bit of life just makes them so much more. Now keep in mind, this is not a repaint, a full repaint. This is just a touch-up job, and it's fantastic. I feel the character of the model. All right, now we've got my favorite dudes. So you got your Hobgoblin Wolf Riders. You've seen they make a lot of Goblin Wolf Rider models. So this is something that you could use as a generic one. I wanted to make them. I don't know, for me, I love the Wolf Riders. I really do. They're not that effective game-wise, but I always thought they were cool. So I went out and hunted down a bunch of different Hobgoblin Rider models that I could use, and then I went and used a Space Wolf Fenrisian Wolves, as well as their Command Wolves, and one of the special character models to make this concoction of Wolf Rider models. I will be showing pictures. Now just look at that. Look how, I mean, look at that. It's just ferocious with the blood on their claws and teeth. I mean, these guys are ready to go into battle. What I do, this guy is my Khan, and of course a standard bearer. That's the champion, And there's the musician. He's got his little thing there. I think that's a bit. I don't know where I got that bit from, but it looks cool. You can see they look like they're just enraged in battle, and I got them on a magnetic tray here. See all the guys. I have one extra guy. If I have some extra points, I tend to throw him on, you know, just on the back as an extra wound. And they just look so ferocious and badass now. I absolutely love how these guys came out. You know, I was really happy with how the conversions I did on here. So this really works. And you see, they got most of them got bows. Funny enough, it was hard to find Hobgoblin models with bows. I originally was gonna I ended up using the Russian alternatives for my Hobgoblins because I could never get enough of the old GW Hobgoblin Bowman. I could find the sneaky gets, but not the Bowman. I could never get a quantity enough to make it up. They're just too rare now, which is kind of a bummer. I really wish they'd cast them on demand. It wasn't even a matter of cost. I literally could not find enough of the stupid things. So here's some pictures of the Wolf Riders. Look at the before, and this is what they all look like before. And again, these were not horribly done, like some of the other models. But again, one of the big things here is just small details pulled out, and you'll see, look like, and you know the one rider guy with his tongue sticking out. His tongue, just a simple brush stroke on the tongue. All of a sudden his face pops. The texturing in the skin, if you can see that, look at how rather than just a dry brush over a black, their skin is painted and then accented with the various brush strokes and highlights. And this really makes the models pop. Of course, the blood. You can see the blood on the wolf's mouth and on his claws. It just, you go from something that looks, yeah, these look pretty cool, to, wow, that's a vicious looking animal. And that to me, that again, what I asked for, and it makes such a difference to the tone of the army. So there you go, there's a lot of pictures there. As you can see, I'm obviously very happy with this, and we're getting close now. I'm hoping, we're hoping to start the campaign into February, beginning of March. I'm cranking out the terrain here. I still got to finish up some of the Mighty Empires tiles for the fantasy campaign. We're starting a 40K and a fantasy campaign at the same time. So I'm really trying to get all the terrain done, as well as get the army. So by the time I get the whole army back, I should be able to start the campaign, and it'll be really cool. Like I said, I mean, you can really see that the tonal shift in the army. It's not that it doesn't. To me, these are chaos dwarves rather than more light dwarves. These guys are vicious marauders who come into towns and they kidnap people and enslave them and slaughter wholesale. That's what they are. They're not nice guys. I mean, if you read any of the fluff from the first time they appeared, and even their old army book, these guys are not nice. I mean, they're mean. They're just repulsive guys, almost ranking up there with being firmer as far as being downright evil. And that's what attracted me to them. For some reason, I don't know, in Warhammer I always like playing bad guys. I'm trying to think if I ever had. I did have Imperial Guard for 40K, which are kind of good, but I tend to favor more of the bad guys because it's fantasy and it's more fun to me to just be ridiculous, you know, for my own personal preference. But I'm really happy with these. Again, Frontline is doing a fantastic job, and you guys check out their tournament, please, and tell them that you really like this work. I really want them to get some accolades and or whatever extra business from having done this. It really has made a big difference for me, especially making my holiday season not as depressing. I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks. I'm going on the 70,000 tons of metal cruise. If you don't know what that is, you should, and it's really awesome, and you should go too. So I'll be gone for a couple weeks, but look, when I get back, I will be posting more of the orc army things, and I'll be doing the Chaos Dwarf army review, and we'll start getting back to some battle reports as we build up towards the campaign. So We'll see you next time here at Gaming Mayhem.